Hey guys, so nearly at 10 episodes of the Open1 Podcast, and wow, some amazing guests so far. If you haven't already checked out any of the episodes yet, I'd highly recommend it because I've had some fascinating people. Kicked it off with Robert Malone, the father of mRNA vaccine technology, and he was speaking out against why he thinks it's a bad idea the way it's being used. Very fascinating. Then had Tom Montauk, the mighty Montauk, a good friend of mine and an absolute genius. That podcast was huge, and many other people. Had David Icke on there. That was a good chat. The legend himself, and many other interesting people, guys. But the next podcast, episode 10, it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be just me, and I'm going to take you on a bit of a journey through my own personal journey of water. And it's going to be quite interesting. I'm really fascinated to see how you respond to this, because I'm just going to go right out there and talk about my experiences, no holding back, and a lot of it I think quite a few people will find interesting. And because water is very important, obviously. But clean water still is another thing, and I have very rarely found clean water in tap water. But I'm going to talk all about this in the upcoming 10th episode, so stick around for that. And in the pipeline, I've got many more interesting guests coming up, amazing people to chat with, and it's going to be quite a journey, this podcast. I'm really excited to see where it goes, and I'd like to involve the community as much as possible, and I have throughout. Even on the first ever podcast I did, I was asking the community, what questions have you got for Malone? So yeah, if you have any suggestions for anyone who would be an interesting guest, or if you're someone who has a really interesting story to share, get in touch. One of the interviews I did a few months ago was actually a man who just literally commented on one of my Telegram posts saying, "Hey, interview me," and I did, and it was a really great interview. Maybe I'll get him back on to feature as a podcast episode. Yeah, it was an interview. That was an interview with Mark. Very good interview. But yeah, I'm going to keep it at that for now, guys. Check out the podcast if you haven't already, and I'll see you at the next show.